It also says that to prove their intent, they will brand your painting again at 6 p.m. That's very soon, Mr. Gray. You should perhaps make your way to Bart's hospital. They can assist you when it appears.
You joke at my expense. You don't believe this.
No, but I believe that you believe all this. And that makes this delusion all the more worrying. A man arrives at my door telling me that a magical painting has ensured that, although he is actually the very same age as I, he is destined to remain forever young. But it has been stolen by nefarious means, all to force him to execute me on Christmas Eve. All we need now are Marley and Scrooge, and we have a perfect tale for the fireside. Don't you agree?
We did meet, you know. Back in 1891, when Basil Hallward went missing. Don't you recall?
I recall the case, certainly. Lestrade brought me in. A painter had disappeared. Everyone said that he'd had a breakdown of some kind and moved to Paris, but I thought differently. I believed that a chemist named Alan Campbell had murdered Hallward, then used his skills to eradicate the body. If I remember correctly, Lestrade didn't believe me either, and we couldn't find proof of the killing. Campbell walked free.
And killed himself shortly afterwards when news of your deductions damned him in the press, destroying his career and his life.
I never spoke to the press, Mr. Gray, and Watson never wrote it into one of his stories.
And yet, the press found out, and you never denied it. Campbell was falsely branded a murderer.
That Lestrade didn't believe me does not mean that Campbell wasn't Basil Hallward's murderer. It was obvious that he was involved.
Of that you are correct, sir. Alan did indeed dispose of the body, but he was not the one to murder Basil. That was me.
And now you make a mockery of this discussion, sir. Come, let us end this now. I have a dinner to attend.
Do not dismiss me so easily, sir. I stood before you as a witness. You questioned me 3 times about my connection to Basil Hallward, and when the bell strikes 6, you will see proof that my story is true.
As you say. But let us wait for proof while walking. I do not wish to be late to my brother's club.
I was a different man back then. Younger in spirit, if not in looks. I took chances. I was desperate. I blamed Basil for this curse upon me, and taking up one of his palette knives, I stabbed him. Alan was a friend. He owed me a boon, and so I convinced him to remove all traces of the deed.
And the body, too?
Yes.
Mr. Gray, I do not understand what you might hope to get out of all this, but the fact of the matter is that you can't have been the killer. You simply are not old enough.
I'll find a way to prove you wrong.
And I look forward to seeing this proof. Now, if you will excuse me, we are at my brother's club.
The Diogenes Club. Nice to be a member, you know. Wait, Sherlock, please, a few moments more.
Really, Mr. Gray, I cannot see what more this charade can bring.
6 o'clock. They said they'd prove they had the painting by branding.
Good God, your cheek.
Now do you believe me?
Beggars believe. Stigmata, perhaps. You believe so strongly that it will happen that your body performs a chemical reaction?
You still don't believe me? Wonderful. A day of drama and of ghosts ends with condemnation and...
What did you say?
A day of drama and ghosts and...
Ghosts?
Not literally, you'll be pleased to hear. More a face from my own past, a woman who cannot possibly exist. Why? Why is that no stranger than all the other things you've heard from me today?
Because this afternoon I saw the same. Someone who cannot be real, and yet... Come to 221B tomorrow at 10, Mr. Gray. We will start the hunt for your painting then. I feel someone plays a game with us both.
You cannot start right now.
My dear man, I have a dinner arrangement, as I've explained to you many times. And as you don't have to kill me until midnight tomorrow, that gives us more than enough time to discover this painting's location.